Welcome to this 2015 XKRS from Jaguar. Now this is a bit of a somber drive because the reality is this is the last production year for the Jaguar XK. But Jag is one of the fastest growing luxury car companies in the world. And to be the fastest growing luxury car company in the world, you have to adjust and adapt to your surroundings. And Jaguar's done that with their new Jaguar F-Type, which is a younger, fresher, faster, better, sexier, cooler car. It is one of the best cars I've ever driven. So to me, it makes sense that they're weaning out this XK and putting more concentration in the F-Type. But let's take a look at this XK and see what we like and what we don't like. Number one, it sounds pretty good. From the outside, the XKRS looks pretty mean. It's got a big carbon fiber spoiler that is a little bit ridiculous, but awesome nonetheless. It's got carbon fiber up front. It's got an aero kit up front. It's got a really mean looking hood. It's got dual exhaust and really nice rims. And that really sets this apart to any other average XK, let alone a lot of other cars without a roof on the road. When you come to the interior of the XKRS, you'll notice you're in a Jag. It's got the same stitching that you'll see everywhere, the same really nice, good quality leather in the seats and in the dash. You'll even notice that the seats are pretty much identical to the ones in the F-Type. But the things that really make this interior seem dated are the infotainment system and the cluster. The cluster is very basic, very plain Jane, and the infotainment system does not look like it came from a Jag, let alone a 2015 Jag. The steering wheel feels pretty good in the hands. It's wrapped in Alcantara. But again, if you were to look at the steering wheel, it doesn't look too fancy. It doesn't look like it's from an XKRS. It does look maybe like it's from a Jag, but maybe one that's 10 years old. It's just not very fancy, and it's not very fun to look at. You may or may not see that there's two, well, compartments. I would hardly call them seats because they really don't resemble anything like them, except for that there are seat belts back there. I can't imagine anybody wanting to sit back there, and it really just makes for better storage space if you can't fit it in your trunk. So yeah, this 2015 XKRS looks badass from the outside. And the interior, well, it just doesn't do it for me, but that's a personal opinion. But where this Jaguar XKRS really deserves the title Jaguar XKRS, well, those details are under the bonnet. Jaguar has tossed in a 5-liter V8 that is supercharged, and that delivers 550 horsepower, 502 foot-pounds of torque. All that power runs to the rear wheels, which makes it, well, a true sports car. But I mean, that's a lot of power to be tossed into the rear wheels. Jaguar has also tuned this 5-liter V8 so that it sounds really, really good. Now the thing is with convertibles, I'm not crazy about them. If I could get the XKRS, I would have a roof on it permanently. And that would be the XKRS Coupe. But if you talk to a lot of sports car guys, the guys who grew up when the E-Types were around, they would tell you that a true sports car was one without a roof. And I gotta tell you, it really is nice driving a car without a roof. It is a totally different experience altogether. Now, if you're looking to save fuel, this isn't the car to buy. It's got a pretty thirsty V8 engine which drinks 14.2 liters per 100 kilometers city and 9.2 highway. Now if you like numbers and you like speed, you might be interested in the fact that this thing can do a quarter mile in just under 13 seconds. That's pretty decent for a vehicle you buy straight out of the factory. I gotta say, it's really rewarding driving this XKRS. It really helps that the V8 sounds as loud as it does. It just sounds excellent. I've driven cars basically as quick as this, and they just aren't nearly as fun to drive because they just don't sound half as good. Although it does have a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it is slower than I hoped. You can switch it into manual mode so you can shift through the gears with the paddles on the column, but I don't know, it's just not nearly quick enough in first and second gear when you really want to go fast. So yeah, it's sad that this is the last production year for the Jaguar XK. But I think the XK can go out with a smile on its face. Because the thing is the XK kept Jaguar in the sports car and Grand Tourer game for many years. And it kept a lot of other manufacturers on its toes because Jaguar's putting out some serious cars with the XK badge. But the XK's run is over, and to me it makes sense. So cheers to the XK and cheers to the future of Jaguar.